Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry that this video is a bit late, but it was a very busy day, hence recording at night. The last place Waratahs versus the second place Brumbies. It's quite a formality if you do look at it on paper, but stuff can change easily in a rugby game. If you do look at the two teams this season so far, the Brumbies, they have 4 out of 5 so far, losing to the Reds. That's why the Reds are at the top. They beat the Force last time they did play by 28 points, and that was a big thrashing over there. The Waratahs, 5 losses in a row. Not a great season. They lost by 32 to the Reds last time out, and the coach has been sacked in this last week coming up to this game. So, not the ideal week going up against the champions of the AU season. So, I do think it might be a tough game for the Waratahs. Let's get into the two teams though. If you do look at the two sides, there's a couple of changes all round. It's 4 for the Waratahs, 3 for the Brumbies. Up front, the Waratahs do shift Johnson Holmes back to his actual scrum position. Angus Bell, he is at number 1, bringing a Wallaby in there. Probably a good idea against the Brumbies with Lloyd scrumming as well as he is. James Slipper at number 3. Fahinga at number 2, up against a guy that's also being called up to the Wallaby side in Purecrow. They're going to have a big battle there because Fahinga will just want to show him, listen, this is what you're going to have to face if you want to get that 2 jersey from me. In the locks, there are 2 changes for the Waratahs with both injured last week. That was also one of the big stumbling blocks for them last week. Jeremy Williams, he's had a good season so far, coming off the bench most games, but he has a start this week. Max Douglas, he's at number 5. They are up against Nick Frost, who comes in. It's funny, every time you do read about Nick Frost, they always call him Tall Timber Nick Frost. So it's a tall guy joining Neville, who's in superb form so far. I think he also got a Wallabies call up. Then we get Valentini versus Sinclair. Cusack versus Tizano. Tizano, we know what he can do at breakdown time. And in the tackles as well. He's been brilliant so far this season. Tom Cusack coming back from his injury at the same time as Brown being injured for them. So good for them to have a guy like him coming in. Pete Samu at number 8 versus Will Harris, who was probably the best player on the park last week for the Waratahs. At the number 9 position, the Waratahs will be so happy to welcome a guy like Jake Gordon back for themselves. He was in good form before picking up that injury. You could see he is a difference maker in that side, so that his leadership is going to be good for them. Another captain at number 9 with Nick White in good fettle so far this season. Lolosio, Will Harrison, that's a great game always because it is the 2 prodigies in Australian rugby heading up against each other. I think both of them are still very young. Irai Simoni versus Foketi at number 12. Foketi and Parisi do switch around. I thought that partnership did really well last week. Also, that's something that they do learn every week from their losses. They did see that center combination did really well. Parisi, he shifts out to number 13. They'll have a reason for that. Ikitau, he's in good form as well. Last week he scored a couple of tries as well. Tom Wright, he's a big name for them to bring back from his injury. Good to see him as well. He's a very prolific try scorer. Muriad at number 11, shifting from 14 to 11. Newsom at number 14 for the Waratahs. And James Ram at number 11. Jack Maddox continues at number 15 versus Tom Banks. Those are the 2 15s usually gunning for the 15 position at the Wallabies. So that's a big game when these guys do go up against each other. Then we get to the 2 benches. There's a couple of guys as well to look out for. Lenorgan, the number 16 for the Brumbies, he's been in good form as well. I think he also got a call up to the Wallabies first team that they are bringing together. He's been in great form from the bench. They say he's very fast. I haven't seen it yet. I want to. Horton at number 16, Tetera Faulkner at number 17, and Breen at 18. They might feel that they have the upper hand against 2 guys that are new to the Super Rugby game in the props. Tucker at number 19 for the Brumbies. They also have other big names in the form like Ryan Lenorgan. We know what he can do with his big boot coming off of the bench. Quinzel also gets his first game for the season. Can't wait to see what he does this week. Now Kwanitawase, he's one of those guys to look out for the Waratahs, though he has been under firing for them so far. Guys, unfortunately, a big prediction for me here. I'm going to go with a big margin for the Brumbies to win this one by 30 points. Let me know your prediction down in comments below. Also, check out these videos next to me. Hit the subscribe button if you do like the channel, and then I'll see you for the next one. Cheers.